Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. I'm back. Had to take the day off. Had to take a few days off, man. Got life. Life hits you sometimes, but the craft man's here, and him and Ian took over yesterday. That shit was good. I listened to the whole thing. What you think, Craft?
It's just good to have you back, man. That shit was not easy trying to host this thing. You do a you do a damn good job, and we were missing you the whole time. I was like, I can't wait to get this. I can't wait to get Matt back.
Hell, y'all was rolling, man. Y'all had that cousin connection, man. I thought it sounded good.
Oh yeah, Ian. He talked about them running backs all damn day. He just even after we recorded it, we were still sitting there. He's like, "Let's do another one, man. Let's do another one. I want to hit up these running backs some more." I was like, "Man, we broke it down as much as we could." I felt like.
Yeah, man, that's how we do it. The Cruise Dynasty podcast. We keep the content flowing, man. If for those of y'all out there who listen to a lot of podcasts, we put out a lot of content, man. So check us out. Add the podcast. Give us a 5-star review. Same old, same old. Add me at Crew Matt Hamm. I heard what y'all was talking about. Y'all ain't got Twitters and stuff like that. Hey, honestly, if we got this podcast big, my Twitter would be bloop. It'd be gone. I would not be keeping this shit. Shit's toxic.
Shoot. What, the Twitter?
Yeah, man, that Twitterverse is toxic as hell out there, man.
Hey, sometimes bad publicity is better than no publicity, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! I wish we could get some bad publicity, man.
Dude, I tell you, I went on the Yahoo chat, something my app, and I put on there. I said, "Hey, check out the Cruise Dynasty podcast." All I got was like 15 thumbs downs. They were like, "Don't be coming on here, damn advertising shit." They're sitting there trying to talk about who to sit and start. I'm like trying to get folks to listen to the podcast.
Hey, keep on doing it, man. Hey, in fact, somebody the other day on Twitter was like asking if there was a podcast out there who does gambling that they could listen to for free. I was like, yeah, we do that right here. And then me and Phil just put out probably the worst gambling picks you could have possibly threw out there. That week 1 and then week 7, those weeks were so bad gambling wise, man. I mean, very bad. But shoot, man, let's hop on these news and see what's going on out there. I know we kind of talked about it before the show, but a few big things happened. You want to start us off, or?
Well, I'll go ahead and hit with the big one. We got Jamar Chase going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks and could go on injured reserve. I don't really know where this come from. He got hurt in that game, in the last game, but came back and played. So I'm not really sure. I guess he went to see a specialist, and they were like, "Yep, you're going to have to miss some time." So, he's out with all the other little – we were talking about it today, man. I feel like every single player is just got hurt last week, all the good ones.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar out for 4 to 6 weeks. To me, that kind of came out of nowhere for me. But T. Higgins, shoot, Tyler Boyd, all them guys should be on the come up, looking up. I mean, they were playing good anyways. But I seen Kadarius Toney getting traded from the Giants to the Chiefs. I know I had said something a couple weeks ago. If he got traded, he might be healthy all of a sudden. So we're about to find out, and I can't wait.
Man, you said it on one of the dynasty ones we did. You said that any opportunity you get to trade this guy for a second rounder, you would do it. You still gonna keep your word?
Man, dude, I saw on Twitter, this guy traded Kadarius Toney for a 2025 third round pick. And I was like, damn, I wish I could get that much for Kadarius Tony.
I
But
think I think you get that, man. Just put them out there. You can get. I think I got Kadarius Tony in my dynasty, both of my dynasty leagues, and I'm thinking it's time to cash in.
yeah, I'm gonna be real. That's gonna be one that I sleep on for a week or two because I'm gonna be honest. I do believe I do buy in that he might be the most talented wide receiver on that team. But this dude, I don't buy into his attitude or his. I don't even know, man. I just don't buy into him. Period. But I don't know, man. You get him a good quarterback. Maybe we'll see how it goes. If he has one big week, though, I might be shipping him on out.
I think you should ship him out right now because he's still behind. He's not going to jump in ahead of none of the three receivers they got on the field right now, and then you got Sky Moore, who's kind of been a
Yeah,
disappointment. But I mean,
I would.
you remember like last year, Kansas City had like Demarcus Robinson and some like Byron Pringle, and it was just like a touchdown every third game or something.
Yeah,
You know, I think that's what it's going to be. So I think if you don't believe in Tony, I just go ahead and cash in while you can.
I for sure don't believe in him for this year, but maybe like I don't know. You give him a whole off season, a whole camp, maybe. I kind of hold out hope. I mean, I seen him do some crazy stuff, but then it's like, man, this dude tweaks his hamstring, walking up and down the stairs and shit. It don't even matter. We giving him too much time, man. What else is out there?
Well, me and Ian hit it on a little bit yesterday about Zeke, and it's kind of conflicting with him. All the reports are saying that he should be out, but Zeke's like, I mean, this ain't his exact words, but he pretty much said, I ain't soft. If I can be out there, I'm gonna play." So it's the trainers versus Zeke. If I had to guess, I would still say he'd be out. And
Yeah,
speaking with that same team, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit on these two because I just want to say I told you so. Michael Thomas is still not practicing,
yeah.
and neither is Jarvis Landry. I don't know what's up with Jarvis Landry either. He got traded to the Saints, and I hadn't seen him but one game this year.
Yeah, I just seen shout out to Mike in the Dynasty League literally like 3 minutes ago just dropped Jarvis Landry for a defense. So it's a Dynasty League where you got like 25 roster
I
spots.
know.
Man just dropped him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's
That's
up with
low.
that. Right.
That's low as hell when you drop a when you drop a dude for a defense. I mean, that's like the lowest of low to that player. He's like,
Right.
just I'm done with you, man. Get the hell off my team.
Yeah, as far as Michael Thomas goes, I know if that man, if you could have sold him after that first week or so, week or two or whatever he did, that would have been awesome. But the thing is like some people, like I got a guy, David Thomas, bought Michael Thomas for a first round pick before the year even started. I was like, you crazy! I wouldn't even have given up a second for that Joker. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
say thank you, and move on. You just gotta, man. You ain't supposed to be taking advantage of people like that.
I
I
mean, it
mean,
was. I mean, shout out to a kill. Just really bamboozled that guy.
taking advantage of folks, man.
It's like I told when the kid was shopping him off, I was like, man, you'd be lucky to get a third round pick for that man. And then David's like, hold my beer. I will throw a first and go get him. Oh,
I mean, some
Lord.
people really believed in this. I mean, he looked good when he was on the field. I'm not going to take nothing away from what he did when he was on the field because there's a lot of folks hurt. But I ain't got nothing for Michael Thomas. He's been when you're out 2.5 years and you played for a half a year. I don't really count you as a solid NFL football player no more.
Yeah. What else we got?
Shoot, Alan Lazard looks like he's going to be out. He went from questionable to doubtful today. Um, they play the Bills. I hope that the Packers either win this game, probably not going to happen, lose by about 3 where they get competitive, or lose by about 45.
Yeah.
Just get absolutely just hammered. But I mean, with
Yeah.
Lazard out, while we're on the subject, is fantasy wise, Christian Watson looked like he was back to practice. Romeo Dubs, Sammy Watkins. Are you starting? Do you want to start any of these guys in the flex?
I might would flex Dobbs, but Sammy Watkins, I mean, it ain't week one. He's a week one guy. If he'll play good week one, and I mean, hey, you know me, I'm a Clemson guy. I love me some Sammy Watkins. That Joker, he don't even want to play football. I'm just being honest. So I would flex
He's
Dobbs.
like,
Watson's a decent dynasty stash. Other than that, that's how I feel about that wide receiving core.
I agree. I'm starting to get a little down on Dobbs too. I mean, he drops more passes than he catches.
Yeah.
Rogers, he got on the Pat McAfee show and he's like, people who make too many mistakes don't need to be on the field. And I was like, he's talking about Romeo Dobbs
Yeah.
directly.
Hey, I definitely wouldn't like just count out Christian Watson. I mean, the dude definitely has some talent there. Like I said, he's a dynasty guy for me. Like, I don't really see him doing much this year because I think the Packers are just going to be struggling from here on out, and Aaron Jones is just the guy to have.
Yeah, and I'm still rocking this damn Packer shirt. Still, every night, this is like my sleep attire. I go to sleep dreaming of when the Packers were a better team.
Hey, man, I used to love the Packers. I'd be pulling for the Packers over the Falcons because the Falcons were so trash. I'd be like, well, at least the Packers are going to win. But I can't do
If the
that
Packers
anymore.
play the Falcons right now, I think the Falcons win that game because they run the hell out of the ball.
I really wish the Falcons would lose a few, though, man. But
I don't get that. I just don't get that.
Well, look, honestly, if you talk to any of the guys, I'm anti-tanking, man. I'm anti, but I do want a quarterback, man. I just want a quarterback and move on to the future.
Well, there's teams out there already now that's going to lock up that spot. I mean, the Panthers are awful.
True.
Washington. I don't think the Falcons got a chance to win the division if Baltimore beats Tampa Bay tonight.
Yeah, and
Tampa's going to be 3-5.
Yeah, we got that game on right now. Shoot, one thing I was just looking at right now, it looks like Rachaad White is getting a lot of work right now. I mean, I've seen only a couple of drives. I know Fournette got a touchdown, but Rachaad White's been on the field at least for the past couple series. But what else we got out there? Might be about it.
My news really for tonight is I regret starting Gus Edwards already. He's got me negative 0.1 points right now. Playing Fournette, he got 7. But don't want to judge too early. But as the news goes, you got anything? Like you said, you got anything? I ain't really got nothing else.
I think that was pretty much it because I know you and Ian touched up on some things like Russell Wilson doing high knees on the plane and shit like that. It looks like
what a freaking nerd.
I have one thing that's not really news, but it's like rumors. I have heard that teams are inquiring about Alvin Kamara, and then I've heard that teams are inquiring about players like Jerry Jeudy, stuff like that. I heard Philly's real interested in Kamara, is what I've heard.
Why? I mean, I know you're not a big Miles Sanders guy, but Philly did just sign Robert Quinn from Chicago, one of their best defensive linemen, or maybe he's a linebacker, but he's a good pass rusher anyway. So they're definitely going all in. But the trade block, from what I heard, like you said, was I hadn't heard the Kamara thing, but I definitely believe you. So you got Kamara, Jeudy, Claypool, Brandon Cooks. I don't know. Do you think Kareem Hunt? Do you think any of these guys get traded? You don't make any prophecy right now about where these guys are going?
The one I ain't gonna say where they're going. The one that I think for sure I think is gone is I think Kareem Hunt's gone. But
to the Rams.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that. Kareem Hunt to the Rams. Other than that, like I'd be shocked if Denver traded Jerry Jeudy. I'd be shocked. But not that I'm high on Jerry Jeudy. I think Jerry Jeudy's been a bust. I mean, he was a top 15 draft pick But I don't
Can we
know.
call him Booty now? Can we just call him Booty?
Jerry Booty.
Jerry Booty.
But shoot, let's
Dunk's
just
Dunk's like if Dunk listens to this tomorrow, his face is gonna turn red as shit. He's gonna start punching the steering wheel.
I told him today,
He's
I
like,
said
not Jerry Booty.
I told him today, I said they shopping Jerry Judy. He's like, I don't know why. He's their best receiver. I was like, the dude's pretty bad. I mean, I was like, dang, Denver spent a first round pick on him. Yikes, man, that's bad. That's
Their best receiver might be on IR towards ACL before the year started. Old Tim Patrick
yeah.
might be their best receiver.
I say look for Denver to go out get one in the draft or something coming up. That's what I think. But
Yeah.
shoot, man, let's just go ahead and check it out, man. Right, we'll just talk about this real quick. Baltimore's headed to Tampa Bay tonight. The game's already going. Tampa's up 10-3 from where I stand. Tampa Bay been struggling, but it looks like they might be about to get back on track a little bit. Lamar, you're obviously starting. Gus, I know my brother flexed him. You said you've played Gus. What you thinking about
Yeah.
that? You said you already regretting it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with what's transpired so far, but you know, I don't want to just go crazy in the first quarter because he hadn't done anything. But I just have so many options this week, and I couldn't decide. It was the hardest week because I got so many running backs that are on that same tier. I had to choose between like Gus, Daryl Henderson, James Conner, Brian Robinson, and I was like, oh, screw it. I just want to watch somebody on Thursday night because that
Right.
was just my tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Even though I can't even watch it because my Wi-Fi don't work, and I had to turn off the game because I couldn't Zoom and watch the game at the same time tonight.
Oh, dang, man. Gotta get out of
This
that country ass Wi-Fi you got out there.
that shit sucks. I'm watching a blank screen. You see me look up. I'm like, I'm dreaming of watching the game. I'm just like, I'm thinking about what's going on. I'm like, oh, Gus might have just ran for 20 yards right here. I have no idea.
the Ravens at wide receiver tonight. No Rashad Bateman. It looks like they had Robinson,
No Bateman.
Prochet, Duvernay. I wouldn't be playing none of them guys. Uh, I mean, some of them look like they're putting in work. It looks like Baltimore moving the ball right now. Mark Andrews been banged up. I know. No matter what, if Mark Andrews is playing, you're playing him. But last week they didn't even target him, or he had 0 catches last week, I believe. So
Yeah, the
he's got,
Bateman's active. Bateman's playing tonight.
dang, is he, man?
Yeah, he just got 0 points, but
He ain't doing
he's
jack.
in. It said he was active. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I can't watch it right now, but I don't know if he's on the field or not. Maybe you need to see if you can look on there and see if you see his number. But I mean, he's got 0. I got him in that prize picks to get 42 reception yards, so he needs to do a little something something.
Yeah, I think like I'm playing my brother this week. He has Rashad Bateman. He didn't play him, so maybe a smart move. We'll see. Move to the Tampa Bay side because these jokers been struggling, man. They've been struggling. I said on the gambling last week, Tampa Bay was 13 and a half favorites over Carolina. And I told Phil, I said, this is like the most comfortable. Usually I stay away from lines like this. I was like, this is my most comfortable bet of the week right here. They go out there and just shit a brick, man. I was like, what in the world? But, Leonard Fournette, you're obviously playing him. Rashad White, I keep saying it. He's just a stash, man. Just a stash. But I was sitting here saying that, oh, it looks like he's getting some work tonight. He's got 2 carries, Kraft, 2 carries. So I must have saw the
That's
only two
work.
plays. The only 2 plays I watched, I guess he was on the field. So
But this man done took over the backfield.
oh Lord, man. Real quick though, before I just kind of missed Kenyon Drake, was he a viable option, knowing that Gus Edwards was playing tonight? Probably not, right?
No, nah, just keep it short and just no. No for
Um,
me.
Leonard Fournette, obviously, you starting him. He's already scored a touchdown, so it's paid off. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Yeah, obviously starting him. Chris Godwin's had like 25 targets in the past 2 games, something like that. If
Yeah.
so, Chris Godwin's always a nice PPR play. But how do we even?
Yeah.
How do
Watching
you?
him tonight looks like he's had like 25 targets in the first quarter tonight. I mean, they're just throwing screens to him left and right. He's just popping off like 8 yards on the screen, 10 yards. Yeah, first quarter. God, he's already got 9 PPR points in the first quarter. 4 targets already, 3 receptions. He's a
Yeah.
beast.
Yep. Love me some Godwin, man. And I had him in a dynasty league, but he was hurt. Dude sent me Brandon Cooks and like so many draft picks. I was like, I will just go ahead and accept those. So I accepted that trade. I wish I had Godwin though. If I knew Tom Brady was gonna be back, I wouldn't have done that trade though. I thought he was gone, but regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tom Brady might be there for the next 4 years. He doesn't got divorced. He ain't got really
Yeah,
nothing to go home to right now. It's just like I just want to scream at my offensive linemen and tell them that they suck at blocking. I feel like that's a bad move, man. I don't think I'd ever do that because they can just. You ever seen what's that movie? Remember the Titans or maybe
yeah.
Noah's Longest Yard where they were like, just let them go,
Oh yeah.
just let them through.
Shoot, remember the Titans too? That one guy. Oh, oh, Pete. No, I can't remember who it
Sunshine.
was. Nah, well, Sunshine came in and won the game for him, but well, who I don't even remember that guy's name. That's my favorite movie too. I feel sad for sitting there messing this shit up, but Julio Jones is
You
active
talking about the
tonight.
linebacker?
Nah, not Gary Bertier. I'm talking about, but Gary Bertier's friend. You remember?
Okay.
And he let that
What's his
guy.
name? Yeah, he's a huge actor. Like he's a
Yeah.
massive actor nowadays. God, what's his name? Some people are sitting there. They gonna listen to this tomorrow. They're just gonna be saying his name. Didn't he? Yeah.
But
Whatever. Whatever.
Gary
Pete.
Bertier, yeah, Gary Bertier had him kicked off the team, man, because he knows he let that block go through, and he hurt old Rev. So, but shoot, that about sums it up with Tampa Bay. Kate Otten, I know I've seen people were kind of high on playing him. He's got 0 targets right now, so hopefully you had better options than playing him. Uh, let's just move on, man. Denver headed to Jacksonville. Russell Wilson. This is in London, so 9:30. Cracking beers open real early with my cereal. Uh, got got Russell Wilson. Says he's playing this week. Man, what do you even make of this Denver team, anyways? With all these players, you feel comfortable with any of these guys, knowing that Russell Wilson's been ass, and then he's got hurt last week, or he's been hurt. What you think?
I just think Russell Wilson couldn't just disappoint Americans. He had to go disappoint over in London too. I mean,
Uh,
these folks that bought these tickets to this game, they're going to be severely disappointed. But
right.
I might just all right. Well, we're gonna hit on the fantasy aspect, but this game's gonna be ass. I don't even. If I could sleep that late, if I didn't have a baby, I would intentionally try to miss this game. But
Right.
you got. I do think Cortland Sutton is a lot better with Russell Wilson back in, and Judy is a flex option. I think Sutton, you can feel a little bit more confident. These running backs, I don't want to screw with none of them. They just signed Marlon Mack,
Yeah.
so I mean, you just added another crap running back in that backfield. So I'm just gonna stay away from them.
Yep. I agree. I mean, I think Sutton, he's he's probably gonna get some targets, and they're gonna look to throw the ball downfield to him. But you know, last week they had what's his face. He still had 9 targets, but that don't mean jack if you ain't catching the ball. So. And I think Judy had a little solid game last week, but that's because, if you're just catching the ball near the line of scrimmage with a backup quarterback in a PPR game, 11 receptions, 11 targets. So, man, honestly, man, I'm glad I don't have these guys on my team. I'm glad I didn't buy. I mean, I wasn't saying, I was kind of buying into Sutton, like you were saying this year, but I'm glad I ain't got him, and I'm glad I ain't got to deal with it. So,
It
but
was looking pretty promising there at the start, even with Russ playing bad. But yeah, he's fell off the last couple of weeks for sure.
yep. Trevor Lawrence, my guy, man. I seen they could have beat the Giants last week, but they got tackled at the 1 or something. I think. Trevor Lawrence is a solid. He's a good super flex play. He's the number 9 quarterback on the year. How about this? Would you rather play Dak Prescott or Trevor Lawrence? Because I got them both. This dude Dak burned me both times I've played him. I'm debating playing. Well, I'm not debating it this week, but from here on,
Yeah,
I
I would.
might.
It's definitely Dak for me this week. I'm not even hating on Lawrence because I've seen some good things out of him, but Denver has allowed the least amount of
Yeah,
points to quarterbacks, only allowing 10 points a game. And shit, man, Denver, I heard somewhere that they have scored the least amount of touchdowns and have allowed the least amount of touchdowns. These dudes just hate fucking touchdowns. They're
right.
like, I hate touchdowns. I don't want anybody to score while we watch this game. That's why I said I don't know. I'm gonna have my coffee for this game, but man, hopefully I can pass right back out.
Yep. His favorite target, Christian Kirk, number 10 wide receiver on the year right now, man. He
Gee,
way exceeded my expectations so far. But heck, he's getting targeted by Trevor Lawrence. Let me say last game. Last game he had 10 targets. I know he had 2 rough weeks in a row versus Houston and Indy, but 7 receptions, 10 targets. Christian Kirk, you're obviously starting him. Uh, what's his name? I know y'all touched on it yesterday. James Robinson got shipped out. He's headed to New York. So Travis Etienne is the guy. What do we think about that?
oh shoot, me and N hit on them running backs pretty hard yesterday, and we think Travis Etienne is top 10 running back for the rest of the year. I
Yeah.
mean, he's definitely every week start, and he's starting to look really good. And I have him around that Aaron Jones range right now. Uh, Probably even better. I would say I would trade Aaron Jones for ETN.
Yep.
That's how much I like him.
Good. He's a good dynasty. I mean, I know we'll probably do some dynasty rankings at the end of the year, but I'm thinking ETN's just kind of skirching on up. He's skirching on up there, man. But for dynasty talk, with James Robinson gone, maybe go stash Jermichael Hasty, maybe Snoop Connor, the rookie. Stash them on your team if you want to. Maybe they're in your taxi squads, stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, because if Travis Etienne goes down, shoot, you got one of these guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's when somebody trades like James Robinson like that, and the coaching staff, it shows a lot of belief in ETN, but I feel like it shows a lot of belief in them backups too.
Yeah,
I don't. Jermichael Hasty kind of is what he is. He's been in the league for a minute, but I feel like it shows a little bit about Snoop Connor. Maybe they like him because you just don't. James Conner wasn't making no money. He was an undrafted guy. Uh, so to trade him, they must have just been like, we'll take the picks for him, and we believe in what we got here. So new coaching staff. They didn't have no ties to James Robinson. I think I've been saying James Conner the whole time, but James Robinson. So you know, like you said, stash them guys.
Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, those are like flex plays in deep leagues. I really wouldn't want to play them. I'd rather play Zay Jones over Marvin Jones. I'd rather just not play them both. I have had to play Zay Jones a couple times, and it has paid off for me a couple times. But Christian Kirk's the guy in
Yeah.
that offense. That's who I really want. And Evan Ingram, I don't even think Evan Ingram. He's the tight end 14 of the year. He's really not even that bad of a play. He had 10 points last week. If you're in a pinch, most people are with
Yeah.
tight ends. Toss him in. He might give you a little work.
Yeah, against this Denver defense, I feel like I'm only going to play Christian Kirk and ETN, and I feel like that's about.
Yeah.
If you got to start Ingram, it is what it is. But Zay Jones, I think, shoot, Pat Surtain will probably be on his ass.
I don't want anybody on. I don't want to play any player on Pat Surtain. I'm just being honest. Even your best guys ain't catching the
Yeah,
ball on that guy. Man, real quick, you think
he's
you think he's the
he.
best cornerback in the league? I think he might be.
He is. Right now, I can't really think anybody off the top of my head that's really matching him. That dude for Arizona, he's a
Yeah.
beast too. Byron is it Byron Jones?
Yeah.
Know his name?
Yep.
Yeah, he's been shutting down pretty much everybody he plays every week too.
Yep. Philly's got a couple good corners too, but yeah, Sertan, that's the guy. Next we got Carolina headed to Atlanta. My Atlanta Falcons. Like you said, we might win the division. So Carolina, they starting old what's his face? PJ Walker. Is Deontay Foreman, he viable to you? He's starting running backs on a franchise. You know, he's gonna get some work. Last week he had 15 rushing attempts for 118 yards. So hey, to me, he seems viable. What do you think?
I think that he's a flex play. I just it's still going to be Chuba Hubbard's going to get a little work, and this is still an awful offense. I really don't. Just like I don't put credit into the Bucks losing to the Panthers, I don't really put credit into the Panthers beating the Bucks. I don't really. I don't think that's gonna. It might just be me. Do you think that they're going to be a good rushing team for the rest of the year? Because I just think
Nah,
if Foreman don't score a touchdown, you're probably not looking at much because he don't catch the ball. So
nah, I'm with you. I think is a pretty good flex play. Uh, I just wouldn't want him as my top two backs, but a flex play, fine. You know, you got your running back that's starting. You're right, Chuba Hubbard. He got 9 rushing attempts, but he scored a touchdown too. So, um, but what about my guy DJ Moore over here? I mean, last week he had 10 targets, 7 receptions. Way different than what we were seeing with old Baker Mayfield. Is DJ Moore back to where we think, you know, this is a shitty offense, but he's the guy. We could throw the ball to him. Like, are we to like? What do we think about
shit,
DJ Moore?
we're back, baby. We are
Yeah,
back.
man, I'm
We
with
are
you.
back. PJ Walker is the dude. But yeah, DJ Moore, he is the only viable piece in this offense. So just on opportunity alone, alone, I really like. I don't think he's gonna like shit the bed like he has been.
Yeah,
He probably don't have the highest upside with the quarterback play he got, but with the targets he's gonna receive with McCaffrey gone, I think he'll have a pretty decent floor through here on out. So you can probably throw him in a flex spot. I got him on my team, and I'm starting this week.
yep. Um, Nobody else though. That's pretty much yeah. I got DJ Moore on my team in that redraft league. I'm playing him this week, so DJ Moore to the moon, baby.
He's been starting DJ Moore every week.
Yeah. What you call? Well, heck, I ain't had no choice in that league. You realize this in that league? This might be the first week I have my guys like Jonathan Taylor, AJ Brown, Amon Ra. Might have them all playing. I'm a sleeper in that league.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sitting here at 2-5, and I was talking to Noah the other day, who is 7-0, and it was before that last game. I said, I'm just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna get on here and see what my record would be if I had your schedule. I would have been 6-1, but I'm 2-5 instead.
It is.
Freaking Noah, I got more points than that little sorry little sack of shit, and he's got a good team, but man, I tell you, fantasy sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like I'm in a family league, and my cousin he scored like 200 more points than I have. That Joker's down there in 11th place. I'm like, you just got some bad luck, man. You down there not winning nothing, but it really ain't nothing you can do about it. Mariota, a little super flex play maybe, because of the rushing upside. Tyler Algier, I'd rather not play him, but the past
Nah.
2 games he's got 15 attempts, 16 attempts. He ain't doing much. I have no choice in that redraft league, I have to play him. I ain't got nobody else to do anything for me. So, I'd rather not play Algier, and I definitely wouldn't want him as your top two backs, and I really wouldn't want him as your flex. But if you got to play him, at least you know he's starting. I'd rather play Deontay Foreman than Algier.
Yeah, I'll probably play Deontay Foreman over Algier too. Well, I definitely would, but I said in the episode yesterday, one guy to look out for is Cordero Patterson. He's aiming for Week 9 return. I
We
would try
need
to go
him.
trade for him.
Yeah, I bet. Got him in a
Yeah,
dynasty league. People asking me if I want to trade him. They offer me some boo boo. I'm like, I'll just ride him on out. He's been the best player for the Falcons. You know, heck, I might go try to trade for him in a redraft if I can. Hopefully, whoever's got him ain't listening. Drake London, he's an okay flex play. I don't really
no,
want. You wouldn't even play him in the flex,
no,
man. Let
no,
me just look.
no.
Whew, one target
They
last.
they don't ever throw the ball.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's the offense. It's Arthur Smith.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm anti-tank, but dang, man, we got to get a quarterback in there. I mean, and Arthur Smith. I'm with you. I mean, I like that we're changing the culture, but Kyle Pitts to me, definitely you can't hardly play him. I'm in a league. I'm playing Irv Smith over Kyle Pitts this week, so I don't want no parts of Kyle Pitts neither. Really, there's nobody on the Falcons that I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, I want to play him this week, except for like maybe Mariota in a Superflex league, and that's a maybe in my opinion. So it's like the Falcons, y'all are ass, man. I hate being a Falcons fan.
You see an upset this game, or Falcons going to take it?
Nah, I think we're gonna win because we've really been
Who
playing some.
scored? Who the hell scored for the Falcons?
Honestly, when I watch, I just can't even
Do
remember.
you have any idea?
I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think about
No,
all
I'm
these
saying like
games I
this week.
watched.
Who scored? They
Mariota,
score like
maybe.
21, 28 points a game. I don't know who scores. Caleb Huntley might punch one in, and then like Algier might get one, and
I know Pitts had one
Pitts will
touchdown.
catch one pass for a touchdown. I don't know who scores for these fools, but
if you're
they'll
listening,
probably end up winning the game with just.
if you're listening to this podcast, just don't even play these Falcons guys. Just if you can. I mean, I'm not super down on Drake London, but I think Drake London talent is there. But sheesh, it ain't happening. So let's just move on, man. That game ain't nothing anyway. Chicago, Dallas, Justin Fields. I've been down on Justin Fields all year. He had a pretty good game against Bill Belichick's defense. Hey, that reminds me, I go to bed, I'm like, I'm just going to have to hope Bill Belichick. I was down by 10. I was like, we're going against the worst offense in the league. I got the Patriots defense. This dude gives up 30 plus, which takes me back to I will harp on this until the day I die. Bill Belichick is overrated as hell. Overrated as hell. He will always be. That man Tom carried that dude. I mean, come on, man. The worst offense in the league, you can't hold them to under 30. Even the Commanders did
Tom
better than
didn't play
that.
for Tom Brady didn't play for the defense on the New England Patriots when they won all them Super Bowls with
Their defense, but if you
the
go and look
most
at it, though,
underrated defense.
but Kraft, that's what I'm saying. If you look at the last 3 Super Bowls and stuff, them defenses weren't even that good.
Oh, you just harping on the you losing last week. What did the Patriots defense do for you the previous 2 weeks in fantasy?
I ain't playing.
You get out
I
about
don't.
22 points and
I'm just gonna.
about
I just
20
don't.
points.
I just don't trust Bill Belichick, man. That dude, he's an ego maniac, man. Dude won't even name an offensive coordinator to his team. He don't do titles, he says. So,
Hey, hey, as the person talking the shit about Bill Belichick, who's the person who picked up his defense and started them?
hey, I keep them. I keep that defense on my dynasty team. I just keep them there like they're part of my future and shit.
Because you know.
When I need
The
him the
genius.
most, he just lets me down. But
I knew you were
anyway,
upset as hell. You told me about that. You needed 10 points. And I kept an eye on it all night. And I was like, oh, Matt's going to be pissed when he wakes up in the morning.
man, I was, man. But all right, but David Montgomery, um, 15 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown last week. So, you're obviously playing David Montgomery. Khalil Herbert had
Are
12
you?
rushing attempts. I think Khalil
Yeah.
Herbert's better,
I,
anyways.
I think they're both about the same. I think they're both good players, but you said David Montgomery's an obvious start. Um, I don't know about either one of these. I wouldn't want to start either one, but I guess you'd have to. But shoot, Dallas is giving up the least amount of points to running backs in the league.
Yeah.
And you got a split backfield 50-50. I'm not, and Justin Fields is taking off and running a little bit more. But you got to start them, but don't expect too much this week. Is all I got to say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be putting them in no DFS lineup.
Right. Darnell Mooney, avoid it. Definitely avoid it. I mean, I know that's Justin Fields' guy or whatever, but Justin Fields, like you said, he's running the ball more. This Dallas defense is stout. I, I don't really want, commit. Man, there ain't nobody I really want to play.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down. Dallas's defense is too good. They're right up there with the Broncos and I would say San Fran. But Dallas' defense has been great every single game they played this year, and they're not allowing anything to anybody.
Right.
Probably be another low scoring one. I'll take the under on this one, whatever it is.
Yeah. Uh, Dak Prescott back. I'm gonna be monitoring Dak Prescott because man, I was all for him getting paid when he did. I thought he was kind of getting hated on, but man, I don't know, man. He really underachieves. I'm starting to think he ain't that good. I'm starting him
Yeah,
this
I
week though.
had Dak all last. Yeah, I had Dak all last year, and this is almost like a tip for people that kind of entered my brain earlier. You want quarterbacks on teams where their defense sucks,
Yeah.
and Dak just don't have to do that much. I mean, Cooper Rush went 4-1 doing nothing, and they can still use that same recipe, and Dak will be a bad fantasy quarterback for you, but their defense is just they don't allow much. They get pick sixes. They turn the ball over. A pick six will kill your quarterback in fantasy. That's 7 points on the board that didn't come from that offense. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to kind of look out for stuff like that when I draft quarterbacks.
We touched on it earlier. Ezekiel Elliott. We both think he's not playing. So Tony Pollard. Heck, I like the way Tony Pollard looks when he plays, anyways, when he gets the ball. So I'm thinking he's gonna have a big week. I'm definitely playing Pollard no matter what if I can.
Yeah, if Zeke is out, Tony Pollard, you might as well just pencil him in as like a RB1 for your team. I mean, me and him talked about it yesterday. We all know who the best running back is in that backfield.
No doubt. CD Lamb. I'm just ready for he's still the number 13 wide receiver on the league, but I'm ready to see that him and Dak. I know him and Dak had a couple big plays last week, but let's just see how they roll. How it goes. Schultz. I think Schultz might be a little. You could probably play him in your tight end spot now that Dak's back. I played him in a little DFS lineup last week. Might should have waited a week, but I still think Schultz. He's gonna get some work with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I've been pretty high on Schultz all year, waiting for him to come back off injury. I still think he's definitely solid. If you had like Njoku or something like that, somebody might have held on to Schultz this whole time, like me, but I think he'll be a solid play. But before we get off of Dallas, I want to ask you about CD. He's been in the league now for 2.5 years. He's performed, pretty admirably, but everybody keeps waiting on him to be elite. Do you think that he just will never be elite? You think he's just above average? You think it's a quarterback play, or
I think he's
what do you
well
think about
above.
CD?
I think he's way beyond above average. I think maybe a elite might be a stretch, but heck, I mean, I still think even if he's not elite, He's number 13 now, and he's been playing with Dak Prescott's played bad, and he's played with a backup for 4 games. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna, I'll put it like this. I won't back off from saying he's elite, but, it might be a little bit of a different discussion than what it was at the beginning of the year.
yeah, but even last year, I feel like he was like everybody wanted him. Everybody was saying he was going to be the breakout, and he's kind of just stayed right on that little precipice of being like he's just been good enough where everybody thinks he's going to be great, but he's just kind of stayed there. When you think of the best receivers in the league, nobody put CD Lamb up there, and I don't think he deserves to be there. Do you?
Not in real football wise,
I
fantasy
mean, you're talking about
wise.
like Chase and Adams and stuff.
Oh, hell no. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely wouldn't say that. No. I'm just thinking, like, from a PPR standpoint, from a fantasy wise, I think he's just as good as anybody, up there, like PPR. I mean, he's number 13 now. Dude's been playing with bums. Dak Prescott's been a bum. To me, they got an offensive problem, period, but it is what it is. Like, I had him ranked number 3 dynasty rank. I would probably keep that, honestly. I mean, I'd rather have him over AJ Brown in a dynasty ranking. I still feel like it's tough though. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I like CD. I'm not saying I don't. I just feel like I got to look at him a little different. As in my opinion, I think he's just and it could just be the offense that he's in. But I can't look at him next year when all the hype is here again, saying CD's a league winner. CD might be a league winner. I'm just gonna calm that down and be like, yeah, he's probably a wide receiver like 15 or so.
Yeah.
Mike Evans or something like that. Jalen Waddle esque. Nothing. I am not putting him up there with Justin Jefferson and these big dogs and thinking that he can get up to that kind of standard year in and year out.
No, definitely not from a real football standpoint. Miami headed to Detroit. Tua. What you call it? They're going against the worst defense in the league. I don't know if Detroit's still ranked 32 or not, but in my eyes, they're still the worst defense in the league. So Tua, he's probably a pretty good play. Mostert last week had a pretty good game.
Of
I mean,
course.
Mostert's getting a lot of work, so I like Mostert. Put him in your
Mhm.
lineup if you can. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I mean, what do we even have to say? I mean, Tyreek Hill, I'd play him even with the fifth string quarterback. That's how I feel about Tyreek right now. So I,
Yeah.
Waddle took a little bit of a hit, but I mean, Waddle's the number 7 wide receiver on the league in the league right now. And Tyreek Hill is 3. So I mean, I know before the year I was saying what duo would you have from a fantasy perspective? T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, or Tyreek and Waddle? I was saying T. Higgins and Jamar, but these Dolphins wide
They're still
receivers,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah, they were still fine. Chase got injured, but T. Higgins and Chase were looking strong as hell the last couple of weeks.
yeah,
So, but the injury kind of skews that, and me and you were both definitely down on Hill. We both said,
mm-hmm,
or I know I said that Waddle would outscore Hill on the year. It could still happen, but I wasn't expecting the kind of volume that Hill was going to get. Their coaching staff, Mike McDaniel, he looks like he's a real deal, and he looks like he can design plays to get the ball in Tyreek's hands, no matter what quarterback's in. So, yeah, I love all Miami's players. The over/under in this game is 51.5. That's higher than the Chiefs Buffalo game last week.
yeah,
And I want was that last week? Yeah, I think it was last week when they played. But shoot, I want all the pieces in this game. The main guys from Detroit, Amon Ra, if he's back for sure.
yep,
DeAndre Swift practicing full for sure.
yep.
And here's the question for you: you're streaming quarterbacks. Um, would you start Jared Goff over Tua, or would you start? I would probably start Tua
Yeah, I'd definitely go with Tua.
against
Not,
Detroit.
hey, but me and you, we've been giving as much credit to Jared Goff as anybody out there. So but yeah,
Well, as streaming QB goes, though, is Jared Goff like right at the top of your list? If you were sitting there with, say, I don't know, Russell Wilson and Jared Goff is on free agency, you're going
I'm.
out there and picking up Jared Goff and starting him.
It seems crazy to say, but at this point, I'm definitely rolling with Jared Goff. It's
Yeah,
really
Jared
not
Goff's having a
even.
down.
Yeah, that was really not even that much of a hard decision for me. So
That's too easy.
yeah,
Is it
Russell
too
Wilson.
easy?
I didn't mind Russell Wilson
I
before
got
the year, but
here's a good one. Here's a good one. Would you have started Tom Brady tonight or Jared Goff?
man, I'm gonna be honest. Tonight, I would have started Jared Goff. After what Tom Brady did last week, man, I can't. I don't know. I started Tom Brady last week thinking he's gonna put the throat. He's gonna put the foot on the neck.
We both said that. We looked like idiots after
Yeah,
that shit. But I think everybody in the nation looks like freaking idiots after that game. I mean,
yeah,
who the hell? I mean, the Packers get the shit beat out of them by the Commanders. The Bucks get the shit beat out of them by the Panthers. And then New England gets the dog shit beat out of them by the Bears last week. I mean, this NFL is crazy.
yeah. It was definitely,
Oh, we
definitely
love it.
Yep, same. Arizona headed to Minnesota. You know how I say it every week. I hate watching Arizona play, but you know what? I watched them play last week, and it was all right because there was finally a game where offenses were moving the ball on a Thursday night game. So Kyler Murray, obviously, you're playing him. I guess the question is James Conner? I would look to be maybe starting playing Eno Benjamin again. I mean, James Conner looks banged up again. I know they're saying he's a game time decision, but I think he's been a game time decision 2 weeks in a row. So that's a situation that you definitely have to monitor.
Yeah, the difference between this time and last time with Eno is that Darrell Williams is back though, and I don't know. Eno did look good. I would if James Conner's out, you could throw Eno in a flex spot, I think, and be okay. He still catches the ball. He's not gonna get you 2 points, but he might get you seven or 20 like he did last time. But I think Connor's going to end up playing. That's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rib injury. They usually just put a little whatever flak jacket on and roll them out there.
Yeah, we just gonna have to see. I'm just gonna monitor that situation. But if James Conner's not playing, though, I'm playing Benjamin this week. D Hop, I mean,
Of course.
uh, definitely. D Hop last week had 14 targets, 10 receptions, basically just plugging in right where Marquise Brown was, just a target hog. So D Hop, if you was down on D Hop, go slap yourself because D Hop's
Let
the
me get your
man.
opinion. Let me see where you would rank D Hop. I'm just going to give you a couple players who played, been pretty damn solid this year. Would you trade D Hop? Try to get D Hop for Mike Evans. Trade. You want D Hop or Mike Evans?
Mm. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say D Hop today. I don't know if I'll feel like that tomorrow, but yeah, D Hop.
Debo.
I think now I'll go with D Hop.
T Higgins.
Nah, I'm keeping T Higgins. I wouldn't do that trade.
CD in a redraft.
Whoo. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say D Hop. Even with
Okay.
Marquise Brown back, I think D Hop and Marquise Brown are both gonna do work. They both might take a little bit of work from each other, but hell, I like. But hey, they're just both. D Hop's just in a good situation right now because he's about to get 10 plus targets every game for the next 6 weeks at least.
Yeah, Marquise Brown was the wide receiver 8 before he went out on IR, and Marquise Brown is nowhere near the player D Hop
Yeah.
is. So
Well, hell, Kraft and PPR leagues, Marquise Brown was number 5, and he got hurt that week.
yeah, he was a. You're right. I can't believe you called the Marquise Brown Christian Kirk in the top 12. You done. I don't know what your other guy was, but I think you hit definitely
Nah,
2 out of 3.
no, it was because the other one was DJ Moore.
Oh, okay. No. But still, 2 out of 3 is solid as hell. I mean, you can't get a hold of them.
Rondell Moore, I mean, I could tell the team's giving him little bit of work. You know, before last week, he had 8 targets and 10 targets. So he might be a flex play if you need to. I would kind of try to avoid it. Uh, Ertz, play him if you want to, play him if you need him. Minnesota, though, coming off the bye, Dalvin Cook, you're playing him. Jefferson, you're playing him. Thielen, you're flexing him. There's not really much to say.
That's it. Man, Madison, you're
Yep.
stashing them.
Madison, you're stashing. Irv Smith, like I said earlier in the podcast, I'm playing Irv Smith over Kyle Pitts. So play him if you want to. Pass happy offense. You know, it is what it is. I'm gonna take the over in that game most likely. I don't even know what the line is, but let's just move on to the next one, man. Let's get on to Las Vegas, New Orleans, couple 2-win teams. Derek Carr's been a little banged up, but I see he's just got upgraded to healthy, so he's definitely playing. Josh Jacobs just been, god damn, Josh Jacobs. I mean, that dude's been going off.
Yeah.
Redraft, he could be a league winner in your redraft leagues. Dynasty wise, though, I'm selling, man. This is the best time to sell, man. There's a lot of uncertainty and it's you know, he's not going to be back with Las Vegas like next year. They're not going to pay him after declining that 5th year. But then again, he's going to be able to go wherever he wants to, so it's a risky. But to me, if you can, well, if you're competing this year, don't sell him. But if you got Josh Jacobs, you're not going to win it all. Man, there ain't a better time to sell than this right here because he's been so good.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the selling him right now because he's gonna have his choice of where to go, and he might end up with the Raiders. I doubt it, but I mean, we talked about Kareem Hunt. My call was that he was gonna go to the Rams. What if next year he's the starting running back for the Los Angeles Rams? I mean,
Yeah.
people are gonna be nipping at the bit to get Josh Jacobs. He's only 24 years old, unless he turned 25 in the last couple of days, but I'm just holding them in both. I mean, if you can get a load for him in Dynasty, it is the perfect time, but he's still young, only about a year or two older than Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to end up in a good situation, I feel like.
Yep. There's a couple of like there's another because Saquon, he's gonna be a free agent after this year, and I wouldn't be sitting here saying sell him. So it's definitely tough, man. I'm with you though. I would sell if I could, but then again, I'm always down to sell running backs in Dynasty if you could afford it because you can get a haul because you got to overpay for these elite running backs. Devontae Adams, he's a wide receiver 6 on the year. I feel like he's just been kind of quiet, but he's been great. He's been very good. Obviously, you're playing him. Hunter Renfro has been banged up, but I think I seen he got upgraded to healthy. Hollins, he scored a touchdown last week. I wouldn't mind having him. I just picked him up on my dynasty team just to have him, man. Redraft, he's a no go, but
yeah, I'd say Hollins is. But one thing I want to say about Devontae, DFS wise, because you're starting them in all your redraft and everything, but New Orleans is ranked 5th worst against receivers this year, and Marshawn Lattimore is going to be out this game. So Vontae Adams might be I feel like he might be the best receiver on the week. So ultra confidence in Adams this week.
And it looks like Andy Dalton's going to start, and even with Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston starting, it doesn't matter to me. The only guys I want on New Orleans is Kamara and Olave, and
yeah.
Kamara, hopefully he'll get some, and I guess maybe Taysom Hill. I forget, if you need a tight end play, he'll throw him in there. He might get a rushing touchdown or something. But Kamara, he's been looking pretty good. He just hasn't had a touchdown yet. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. So I would feel pretty good about Kamara. And hell, and Olave, I'd feel good about him. Dynasty wise, you hit. That was a good pick if you picked him in your dynasty drafts. But heck, at redraft, man, dang, he gets double digits every week, man. Olave's the guy, man. I love me some Olave right now.
Yeah, Olave's he's fine. You're gonna have him in your lineups. You should. Las Vegas is an awful defense. Here's the main question: is We were talking about streaming quarterbacks. Is Andy Dalton a viable streamer this week? Las Vegas is giving up the most points to quarterback this year,
I'm just gonna be
and
honest.
Vegas is going to score.
After seeing what he did throwing in pick sixes versus Arizona, it ain't like Arizona's defense is out there shutting folks down and stuff.
He had a great game though, fantasy wise. In that game, he scored 34. He had 361 yards and 4 touchdowns that game. Also,
Damn, did he really, man? How
30.
did?
Yes, he had 34 fantasy points with them 3 pick sixes.
Well, shoot. Obviously, with numbers like that, he's a viable streaming option. But I would want to have. You definitely could play him as Superflex. Heck, I mean,
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson or Andy Dalton.
Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Hey, this week I think you have to say Andy Dalton. Shit. I don't want no parts of Russ.
I would too, man. It's sad. Dak Prescott or Andy Dalton?
Man, I think I'd have to roll with. I think, man, I'm gonna say Dak. I mean, I'm picking Dak over like Trevor Lawrence and stuff. I feel like I definitely got to say him over Andy Dalton, but I don't know. I'm watching it though. I'm gonna be keeping up with it. I'm definitely gonna be. I'm gonna have to watch a little more Andy Dalton this week.
Yeah, I think you need to. In that average Joe's league, you might need to start Andy Dalton. I don't know what your quarterback is in that league, but the rest of your team, if your quarterback position is as bad as the rest of your team, pick up Andy Dalton, throw him in there. He might get you a dub this week.
He might. I mean, it was either Dak or Trevor Lawrence. Man, that league, it just is what it is at this point. I feel like I've been unlucky but lucky at the same time.
Oh yeah, I'm just sitting here talking shit with my 2-5 ass. I'm coming up though, baby, dude. 2-5 right now. My starting running backs are Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Dalvin Cook, and DeAndre Swift. This man is coming, son. He's coming up in the world. I don't even need receivers.
I need one of them guys, man. I got you a receiver. We'll talk about that.
Running back's going to carry me all the way to the championship.
Oh, we'll be talking about that. We'll be
okay. All right, you better bring the bank.
Right. All right. So we got New England to the Jets. I ain't gonna sit here and bitch about Bill because you know how I feel about him. I already did it earlier. I see Mac Jones is sitting up in here in the starting lineup. Is that what? I haven't really been monitoring the Patriots. Is Mac Jones about to start this week? Do you know?
Yeah, they did say he was going to start week 8.
You know, real quick, I know he got benched after an interception or whatever. I seen he threw the ball and it hit the damn NFL wire. They got a little ESPN wire they got up in there. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't even see that.
The ball
I didn't even see that, but
shoot, ball hit the wire and the other team caught it. That's just tough luck. They need it. They shouldn't have that up there anyways like that. But anyways, Ramondre Stevenson, I mean, he's a full go for me. I mean, 11 attempts last week. Damian Harris was not really a factor, but they was just getting smacked last week. So Stevenson, I'm starting him feeling pretty good about it, even with knowing Harris. I mean, Ramondre is the number 8 wide receiver. I mean, number 8 running back in PPR leagues right now.
Yeah, you don't really have to. That's all you got to say for people to just throw him in their lineup with confidence. Number 8 running back in PPR leagues. And all I got to say about these Patriots, man, shame on y'all for the Zappy hour thing. Mac Jones went to a Pro Bowl last year. Zappy plays 2 games, and y'all are sitting there just dogging the hell out of Mac Jones. Man, shame on y'all, man.
Yeah. You know how it is up there. Shame on Bill. Call your boy Bill out.
I mean, whatever. Shame on Bill, too. But what does Pat McAfee call them? Massholes?
Yeah.
Looking massholes out there, man.
I'm going to have to start tuning into that podcast. Jacoby Myers, you know, he's just a flex kind of guy if you need to, and he's really a better PPR play than a half PPR kind of guy. But Jets. We got Zach Wilson. I mean, phew. Let me look at Zach Wilson. This dude, man, I guess he did go against Denver, but it ain't like New England's gonna be any easier. So it's like Zach Wilson. This is one that I've want to say Michael Carter to the moon this week. I feel like Michael Carter is as good as play as anybody out there. Michael Carter is a good play.
Yeah, that's the only player that I would say that to start this week was Michael Carter. I'm not as high on you as Michael Carter. I'm definitely going to look at him in my DFS though, see how cheap he is. But probably a RB2/3 for me.
I want to say something because I
This
heard you
week.
and Ann talking about this situation a little bit. I'm gonna say it right now. I think Michael Carter's a good play for the rest of the year. I don't think James Robinson's gonna come in, and the truth is this dude was fading off from that Achilles injury or whatever. He was I know he had a good hot start. This dude was fading off. I think this was a pretty decent trade for the Jets to get James Robinson, but I think Michael Carter's the guy. I think he was good last year. I think he's going to be pretty good this year. Michael Carter's going to be a good play. I'm going to be monitoring it. I might be a little higher than others, but I think Michael Carter's as good as I think he's going to have a pretty good rest of the year is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like Carter better too. I mean, when we were talking about it yesterday, I definitely like Carter more than Robinson. I do think Robinson will have a significant role in this offense. And, you can't look at the Jets the way they have been playing. They've been playing like the Falcons where they've been able to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. But it wasn't that long ago where Joe Flacco was throwing 50, 60 times a game because they were losing their asses off. I mean, the game script ain't always going to be great for the Jets. They just lost their best running back, one of the best running backs in the league. They lost one of their best offensive linemen. Their defense is okay, but and that's kind of give more props to Michael Carter too, because when they are behind, he's going to be the guy in the game. I feel like, but J. Rob's going to steal some touchdowns.
Yeah, and agreed with that. Let's go to Pittsburgh, Philly. Kenny Pickett might be a super flex play for you, but the main thing I get from Kenny Pickett is Kenny Pickett's. I feel like he's just going to keep targeting George Pickens. I know George Pickens had 6 targets, 6 receptions last week, 6, couple 6s, couple 8s. I'm starting to turn on. I'm starting to be a little turned on by George Pickens for the future from a dynasty perspective, but. And Kenny, I don't know.
You getting turned on, are you?
Hey, Kenny
getting turned on?
Getting turned on, man. George Pickens tickling my fancy a little bit. I think he could be good. I give him and Kenny Pickett a whole off season to training camp. Next year might be all right.
If you listen to me and him, me and him are playing in our Yahoo League this week, and if I win, that's the jersey he's going to be buying me. Is a George Pickens Steelers jersey. I think he's going to be great. Quarterback situation. If they figure out the quarterback situation and Pickett ends up being good, George Pickens is going to be the next big thing.
Crap! While we're talking, Kenyon Drake just caught a touchdown pass out of the backfield. Man, didn't even have Gus Bus down there.
Son of a bitch.
So Najee,
Gus Bus don't catch passes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Najee last week had 17 attempts.
He got me a couple points on that drive, though.
Yeah. Najee had 17 for 65 yards. We've been fading Najee all year. I heard you say Najee might be a good buy low for next year, and I do agree for a dynasty buy low. He might be all right. I don't know, man. Their O-line just hadn't been too good, and he's not catching the passes like he was from Big Ben. I think Deontay Johnson's suffering from that too, because Deontay Johnson, let me look. He's getting the volume, like he'll get the targets, but it's just not turning into too much.
Oh, he gets he might lead the damn league in targets at wide receiver. He's been getting
Yeah.
incredible amount of targets.
And really hasn't in the last 3 games. He's only got
I'm
5
trying.
receptions, 3 games in a row. So I'm not really high on
Yeah.
Deontay, but I would much rather have him as a flex play. I wouldn't want him as my wide receiver too, but in redraft, you
Yeah,
might not
I'm
have
the
no
same.
choice.
Yeah, I agree. The shame is you drafted him as a wide receiver too, and he just ain't panning out. What you drafted for, but there's a lot of players like that this year. But I think if you want a couple points, you can throw him in your flex spot. He's not going to goose you, but the ceiling really ain't there with him. I would start like Jacoby Myers over him if it was me.
Man, I don't know if I go that far, but I mean, hell,
Jacoby is a good player, man. He's been doing some good work, and he's actually been getting in the end zone. As soon as I say
right?
he can't get in the end zone, he heard me. He's like, I'm about to start getting in the end zone. But Jacoby the last couple weeks, 24, 10, and 11.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
right. Pat Fryermuth, tight end 9 on the year. I wouldn't mind playing Fryermuth. Jalen Hurts over here, obvious, man. I've been higher on Jalen Hurts. I respect the hell out of Jalen Hurts right now. I think we just got to appreciate how good he's been playing this year. From a fantasy wise, I definitely love Jalen Hurts. Miles Sanders, you're obviously starting him. I know I'm not high on Miles Sanders, but he's the number 14 running back on the year, so he's been playing pretty good. Scored 14 fantasy points last week, so not too bad.
Yeah, you're hitting all these Philly guys. They done got their bye over with, so if you got them, it's all systems go now.
Smoke them if you got them.
You're ready. Yep, you're ready to roll with all of them. I ain't benching none of these jokers. And the great thing about Philly is you know exactly what you're going to get week in and week out. You know what players to start. There has been nothing. Quez Watkins don't even have his weeks. Like, who the players are who's going to score you points. I like that for fantasy. Unlike the Chiefs,
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, you're playing them, and then Dallas Goedert's been as safe as a tight end as any. I mean, he's the number 8 tight end right now, but that's with the bye. I think he creeped up in that top 5 last week, and they actually designed plays to get Dallas Goedert a few catches. So it's like, you're right. You know what you're getting with this Eagles offense, and honestly, Philadelphia is one of my favorite teams to watch right now, and I usually hate Philly, but
yeah, usually Philly hates Philly,
right?
They hate him more than any. Philly, like, they got what you got the Phillies in the World Series now, and you got the Eagles playing like they are. They're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do in Philly, but that city might not be a thing anymore if both these teams win championships this year. They might burn the motherfucker down.
Right, they living the good life out there right now. Moving on, man. Tennessee, Houston, Tannehill, maybe a super flex play, maybe. Derrick Henry, definitely rolling with Derrick Henry. Number 9 running back on the year. That's with the bye. Last week he had 30 rushing attempts. I'm going to go ahead and say I've been wrong about Derrick Henry. I knew the volume was going to be there. And I know he ain't like that RB1, like the overall one, but still, he's still a top 12 guy. So Derrick Henry, I'm going to say I was a little wrong about him. Even though I never said he wasn't going to be out like the top 12 like that, but he's definitely played pretty good. Other than that, though, I don't want nobody on that Tennessee offense. They all trash.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say about their pass catchers. I don't want none of them. Tell Phil to stop offering me Robert Woods, man. He could drop his ass right now, and I wouldn't even look his direction on free agency. But he just always throws Robert Woods in there, like, for some reason. He's like, I think he offered me Robert Woods and Jacoby Myers for like Diggs or something. I'm like, no. But I'm gonna hit one thing with Derrick Henry because he's a boss. But his next couple games right now, he got Houston, then he got KC, Denver, Green Bay. after that. His playoff schedule is awesome too. Derrick Henry could jump up and be the top 5 running back at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
super confident in him. And this week, DFS wise, there's not a better play than Derrick Henry.
Yep. I heard that. I'll be looking at that when I do my lineups. And we get the poor man on tomorrow. Houston, Damian Pierce. It's not even a debate for me. I've drafted him in the rookie draft, and I reached for him. I went 201. I went for Damian Pierce. I feel like I nailed that. He's getting 20 attempts every game. He's getting some receiving work. Damian Pierce, as good as a play as any, man. So, and then other than that, Brandon Cooks is a flex play. But I seen Brandon Cooks. That was another one. I saying that even though he signed like a little 2-year, 3-year deal, I was saying that they might ship him out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it would be smart of them if they can get some picks because it's like we play dynasty. That's kind of how the NFL works. Get rid of your older players, get some young guys, get some picks. If you're not competing, same ordeal with the Houston Texans. They can get rid of Cooks and get some picks. Come on to Green Bay, maybe we can compete this year.
Next we got Washington and Indy. Heineke versus Sam Ellinger. So I'm taking the under, obviously. Don't even know what the under is on that game. Brian Robinson.
Yeah, it's gonna be JT versus Brian Robinson this game.
Yeah, I'm thinking JT might do a little better without Matt Ryan in there and with Ellinger in there. I'm really am ready to see what it looks like. Matt Ryan being benched. Like you said, Brian Robinson, Taylor. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, how do we feel about the wide receivers on both of these teams playing with some backup guys? I mean, maybe you feel better about Pittman more than any of these guys, and McLaurin had some success with Taylor Heineke in the past.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to last year and see where he finished. I would definitely start McLaurin this week. Every week, it's really tough with these. If Jahan Dotson, have you heard anything on him? I think the last thing I seen was that, he's unlikely to play for this week. So it's just McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, and I think that I would start definitely McLaurin. And if you got to start Curtis Samuel, it's probably not the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't expect nothing crazy out of it. But McLaurin with Heineke, he has some boom games and he can bust for you. So you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah, that was just a tough one. Be aware of playing players in that game, but obviously I feel like it ain't like you're going to be benching Pittman or something like that. So just,
And going back to McLaurin, I was looking up last year because he played a whole year with Heineke. He finished as a wide receiver 24 last year. So that's a flex asset, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'd have a little confidence with throwing old Terry out there.
Next we got New York Giants, Seattle. Kraft. They're 6-1. I still saying they're trash. I'm still sitting here like, no. But you know what? This is where I just gotta admit they're not losing the football game, man. You can sit here and be unimpressed with New York, but they're going out there and they're not giving the game away, and they're running they're giving the ball to their best player, Saquon. Daniel Jones ain't turning the ball over a million times. So Daniel Jones, I mean, what do you feel about him as a streaming option? I mean, he's the number 10 quarterback on the year right now. So I doubt too many teams got him in their roster. So
it's mostly rushing.
Yeah. So
I felt like he's been in the league for so long, but the NFL teams had not figured out that this 6'5" white boy can just run a 4.4 40. And I mean, he's a crazy good athlete, man. I asked Noah one day at work, and I said, man, what guy could you tackle in the NFL? what guy would you want to see run at you? He said, Daniel Jones. I said, you don't want Daniel Jones running at you, boy. This dude's about 6'5", 230. He'll make you look like a little shrimp and just roll
Right.
you over, man. But yeah, going back to I just get to talking about what the hell ever. But
Nah, you good.
Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones, yeah, streaming
Yeah.
option. I'd put him up there with Goff and Andy Dalton and stuff like that for this week.
Saquon, obviously. Wan'Dale Robinson had 8 targets. I think they all came in the first half last week, though. But, I don't mind seeing Wan'Dale out there. Kadarius Toney's traded away. Not that he was a factor anyways, but Wan'Dale's pretty much going to be their best receiver out there. So, might be a little streaming option, especially if they're going to give him 5+ targets in these games.
Yeah. He shouldn't be a streaming option. He should be starting for you right this game. I feel like I would start him over Scary Terry. Mondale's about to get all the work. They just traded Kadarius Toney. He's fine. I would put him in your starting lineup and be confident.
Geno Smith.
Sleeper.
He's the number 7 quarterback still. So, take him as you will. You're probably playing him in super flex, playing him in a streaming option. Kenneth Walker, I'm high on him. You're high on him. He looks good.
Yeah, roll him out there.
Nothing more to even say about that dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know about dynasty wise right now, but we might be higher on him than most people. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett.
I like to see patterns, man. I really like to see patterns when it comes to dynasty in Seattle. Seattle loves to run the ball, and they always love to run the ball.
But, people were down on Kenneth Walker because they was like, oh, he didn't catch the ball that much in college. There's some things that people just look into that are just stupid. Like, this dude's good. I don't care that he didn't catch. It don't mean he can't. So, Kenneth Walker, to the moon, man, to the moon. Tyler Lockett's going to be in your lineup this week without DK Metcalf because he ain't playing. Tyler Lockett's looked pretty good anyways. So, is that...
Would you... Yeah, I'm definitely with Tyler Lockett, but would you try to talk anybody into starting Marquise Goodwin and chase the points that he had last week without DK in?
Look, I'm going to say no. And it's like, what's his name, said something about a spike week last week. I mean, this right here, if he does it again, then I'll start looking into it. But, I mean, DK's going to be back anyways at some point. So, I don't know. I wouldn't do it, personally. I would try to see if I had another option.
Yeah.
Giants
defense is pretty good too. If it was like Detroit or something, I would think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's just move on, man, to San Francisco, Los Angeles Rams. This is a pretty big game right here. LA coming off the bye. San Fran, Jimmy G, C-Mac. Before we go, Debo, didn't practice today, and he's been banged up. I think me and you both believe he will play. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah. I said that he would play before the practice report today. He also, like you said, he didn't practice today, so I'm starting to get a little worried about it. I don't know for sure. I'm thinking 50-50 right now, but you got two different things. The bye is in week 9, so they could sit him out and let him get healthy, but it's also their biggest rival division matchup. So
yeah,
I don't know.
This is definitely a big game right here. C-Mac, he'll probably get used a little bit more this week, I imagine. It was the first week last week. I mean, they used him a decent amount last week, but this week they probably really going to try to unlock him. I would trust, I know y'all, we were talking about who's going to get faded and stuff like that for these teams. I just trust Kyle Shanahan. I think all these guys are going to still get involved. He's going to keep that offense rolling. I'm not really. I think Debo's still going to get rushing work. So anything.
I disagree because I don't think that there's no way that it's Jimmy Garoppolo really. And, there's no way that all of them can produce game in and game out. I think it's going to be a wishy-washy type thing where it's Debo one game, and then Kittle has a great game, but McCaffrey's going to be the steady. He's going to be every week doing great. But when you come to Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo, it might just be pick your poison.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Agreed. And Kittle, he's been stepping it up these past couple weeks. So obviously you're gonna play him if you can. But for the Rams though, this bye week might have been good for old Stafford. I think his elbow's been a little banged up. What about Darrell Henderson? Where do you fall with him right now?
He was right in the range of like Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards was tonight. Like James Conner kind of range. He's a flex play. I would put him in there. It's a bad matchup. Kyron Williams is coming back. Ian touched on him a little bit yesterday, and we don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but you know, I'd throw Henderson out there as a flex play and just hope for the best.
Cooper Kupp is just super obvious. A-Rob though, I would try to avoid it. I plugged him in a couple weeks ago and it paid off. I wouldn't do it again if I don't know. It's just like if you absolutely have to, maybe like I had to, but I wouldn't be sitting there thinking, oh, it's going to work 2 weeks in a row. So,
Yeah, but Van Jefferson is coming off of IR this week.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen, that he's expected to be back, and he's their deep threat. That might open things up for Robinson. It might make things. Cooper Kupp's going to do what he does. Don't matter who's on the field, but it might open things up for Robinson. I would. This is not an endorsement to start Van Jefferson this week.
Right.
I would, give him a little while, but keep an eye on Allen Robinson. See how it all looks. Just see how it looks when Jefferson comes back, and if he's going to get more targets, and the field's going to be a little bit more open for him.
Tyler Higbee, you're playing him. Not much to say about that. He's going to get targets. So let's move on, man. Green Bay, your Packers going to Buffalo. I'm thinking this is going to be a beatdown in real life. But, you said something about Lazard's going to be out.
Yep.
Man, I've Dobbs
Bring forth the sacrificial lamb is the way I look at it.
I mean, Aaron Jones is an obvious. Dylan, man, I done got to the point where it is what it is with Dylan. I'm looking elsewhere. But
yeah, we make it easy with the Packers, man. Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, right?
Jones, and that's it.
And I know I said earlier something about Dobbs, a flex play, but you're right, man. I mean, the dude's dropping the ball a lot. If he keeps doing that, you're not going to really want to play him. Sammy Watkins a no-go. I don't care what the hell. So
they're just going to get killed.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a little beatdown, but we'll go ahead to Buffalo. Josh Allen, I mean, what more do I even have to say? The QB1, Singletary, you're playing him. Diggs, Gabe Davis. I would even look at McKenzie. We've been, on and off McKenzie throughout the year and stuff like that. I don't mind playing McKenzie. If I'm in a pinch or whatever, McKenzie's as good as option as there is out there, is the way I feel.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of, I don't know if I'm backing off. The last game that he played, he was making mistake after mistake, dropping balls and whatnot. I wouldn't put him in a flex this week. I'm not as high as I was on him. I think Khalil Shakir might be somebody that you want to stash.
Yeah,
McKenzie he's been pretty bad. He's a good athlete, but as far as just making mistakes goes, he makes a lot of them. So, and the second half of the year is always the year for rookies.
Right. Agree. So Dawson Knox, tight ends.
Yeah, touchdown dependent.
Yep.
The most touchdown dependent tight end in the entire league. If he scores a touchdown, you're happy. If he doesn't, you're not.
Mad. Right.
Yeah, you're mad. But he can score 2 or 3 of them. I mean, he's got a good chance at it with that offense. So
Shoot, man. On Monday Night Football, we got the Bengals versus the Browns. Joe Burrow. These dudes they've been rolling. So they've been doing what they do. They've kind of stepped it up. I know me and you've been we were kind of waiting to see. We want to see what they do, but a win versus the Browns gets them to 5-3. So Joe Burrow, you're playing. Joe Mixon, you're playing. T. Higgins. I mean, with Jamar out, Tyler Boyd is a very good option. I've been playing Tyler Boyd in the Superflex League anyways with T. Higgins in my lineup, and it's been paying off. So I ain't this only helps Tyler Boyd. So
and then Jamar is out, and you might as well put T. Higgins in Jamar's place and put Tyler Boyd in T. Higgins' place. Tyler Boyd's value just skyrocketed.
Yeah, right.
Both of them did, but I'm gonna put you on the damn spot, you little shit. You do it with me with Amari Cooper every time he has a good game.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow. Y'all were giving me hell for ranking Joe Burrow over Tom Brady during the preseason. I've got to come at you right here. What do you think? You think it's a fluke? You think he's good?
No. I just think I was dead wrong. Dead wrong. I mean, this dude Joe Burrow is the quarterback 3 right now, and this dude's going off. I mean, I thought Joe Burrow was good, but I thought his ADP was just a little too high for my. I mean, I had him going at ADP 4. Now it doesn't look so crazy right now, but
yeah,
you was right and I was wrong, and Phil was super wrong.
I mean, Brady might pick it up. Burrow just come off a 50-point game. It's going to raise his finishes so far this year. I don't think I would say definitely top 6 though by the end of the year.
Yeah,
which I'll be happy with as my quarterback.
What you call it, Hayden Hurst? He's just one of those. I have him as a backup tight end, so it's not a bad backup tight end to have. You can play him if you need to. The Browns though, the Browns have been the Browns. Nick Chubb is the man. Not really much to say about Nick Chubb, but your boy Amari Cooper's over here, wide receiver 11. I'm gonna say I keep giving you hell about it just because you said you wouldn't even roster him, but we both were wrong on Amari Cooper. Like I was way wrong on him too, so it's just funny. But you're gonna play Amari Cooper this week, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and throw him out there.
Yep.
He'll do just every time I talk about Amari Cooper, I'm just going to be the most monotone, just depressed. My eyes are barely open. I'm super depressed talking about him.
I think even though I've kind of just waiting for Amari Cooper to have a few bad weeks in a row, so I can try to snag him on the low, because I think him and Deshaun, when Deshaun comes back, I know Deshaun ain't played in 2 years, but
yeah,
even for like a dynasty for next year, if you're going into the year and you got Deshaun and Amari Cooper, it might not be so bad. So
I'm just ready for him to have a couple of down games so that I can smile a little bit.
Right. Heck, honestly though, with Deshaun coming back, any of these Peoples Jones, David Bell, I wouldn't mind if I could try to snag them on the low. It's got to be on the low though. If I could snag him on the low, I might would roll with it. Oh, Mike Evans. Just caught about a 40, 50-yard bomb. That reminds me, that man, Lamar Jackson, threw the ball to Isaiah Likely for a touchdown. So yeah. But yeah, man, shoot, that wraps up the week. What are we on? Week 8? We already done made it to week 8. We're almost halfway through. We're going to have to give out some special episodes for the halfway mark. Might need to think about what we're going to do for tomorrow, maybe. We'll look at some of these schedules.
Let's do it. Let's put some thought into it.
I know we got to get a gambling episode out,
it's about that time of year where start looking at strength of schedule.
Yep, agree.
Strength of schedule is a big thing right now, especially. And I really want to, we need to hit on like some tips episode, just some stuff. You really need to start looking at these playoff schedules for your players and trying to trade for players who have easy ass schedules going into your fantasy playoffs. It's a big thing.
Couldn't agree more, man. I say we just wrap it on up, man. Been putting out some content. Give the people a few hours this week. UNN almost went 2 hours talking about running backs. So hopefully the people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Everybody, man, thanks for listening to the podcast, man. I know we got some listeners out there that listen to it and they like the podcast, and some people like to get on and hate on me for the things I say, and I like that too. So keep on listening. 5-star review. Add me on Twitter, Crew Matt Hamm. But just mainly just add the podcast, man. Listen to the podcast. Love the podcast, hate the podcast. But thanks for listening. Kraft, you got anything to say real quick for the people?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, say the same thing you said. All our listeners, man, I really appreciate y'all. Like, it really means a lot. It doesn't matter how many we got, the people we got that tune in. I just really appreciate y'all for listening to us. And like Matt said, y'all can disagree with us all y'all want. Like, just come at us, because we ain't always right. We just try to speak our opinions, and it's an opinionated show, and shit, we're wrong a lot, but we're right a lot. And we just appreciate y'all listening, because
the hate don't hurt our feelings, man. It don't hurt our feelings, not even a little bit. So, but shoot, man, that wraps it on up, man. We out.
Peace.